ट्यूशन की स्मेल इतनी घटिया स्मेल है।
पॉलिसी क्या है 75 ही है।
ASL 375. Good morning, everyone. I see a lot of new faces, which is why I did not understand in the first place if this is my class. Could you, I know some of you, uh, those of you who were not there the last time, what we did was we introduced each other and we got to know each other. ASL 375. Clearly sitting in the wrong class. So, which is why I checked. So, yeah, make sure you're in the right class. This is ASL 375. What is the name of the course?
Lesson for the
Yes.
future.
So, I'll tell you a funny story. The other course that I teach, it has a very long name. I did not make that course. Okay? Global climate and monsoon and whatnot. Okay? Name of the course. And so I've taught that course 2 semesters and none of the students could get the course name right. मतलब मैंने माइनर में उनसे लिखवाया, मेजर में लिखवाया कि कोर्स नेम जरूर लिखना, किसी ने सही नहीं लिख पाया. So that was the case. So half of the students didn't even know what course they were attending. I don't blame them. The name is very sort of confusing and it has like everything on the table on global climate change. But then I expected them to at least read or at least know what course they are attending. Okay. So make sure you're in the right class. Make sure we are all here to study climate of the past. All right. तो जो नए हैं, can you please introduce yourself because it's good to know each other so that I know इसको पढ़ा रही हूँ and what is the background that you come from. ठीक है, तो what you have to tell is your name, which year, which discipline, and why did you take paleoclimate, apart from the fact that it is easy to score. ठीक है, I see 2 new faces here.
Hello everyone, myself Harshit, 4th year computer science branch. I took this course and mostly I did to do an OCS and I wanted to study a climate and take a course.
Did you take any other ASL course before?
No, this is the
First course.
I am Pratham Agarwal from 4th year CS and I have taken this course as an OC and this is my first ASL course.
Welcome to this course. Who else? Yeah.
My name is Trisha Manit. I'm a 4th year student in computer science and this is my first ASL course. I also wanted to explore something.
See. Okay. Yeah.
I'm Tanmay. I'm from 4th year electrical engineering student. Even this is my first
ASL course. Okay. So what are the electives you've been taking? 4th year. So 4 सालों में ASL तक नहीं पहुँचे. How is that possible? Usually, like my class has students who have already taken one or the either my course like Fizan and Aradhya is not here right now, but or some other ASL courses. So they come कि अच्छा ये कुछ तो नया है, very different from electrical, computer science and other branches, humanities for instance. Okay, क्यों नहीं लिया अभी तक? थोड़ा एडवर्टाइज कर रही हूँ अपने यहाँ को. हमारे माइनर एरिया में कोई आता ही नहीं है. Nobody is concerned about climate. Okay. My prized possession. So what we did yesterday, well, the day before on Tuesday was we discussed primarily the course policy, and my philosophy of teaching has always been that it's driven by the students. Of course, I can devise what the course would have, but how you would want to be judged on that subject is it should be basically because this is an open category course and it's not like you would become an expert or have a PhD after this course. But there are certain basic fundamentals of climate science, particularly past climate, that I want you to know through this course, and which I'll make sure that you'd achieve. The way we can assess it is how we assess it has been matter of it's basically subject to who all attended. So last time I just put this up, and since it's the first week, I'll put this up tomorrow also for a little bit, तो सबको पता चल जाएगा कि what we are going to study. This course essentially will have one assignment, and which would be of 20 marks. It is a group. You are new.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Can you please introduce yourself?
Yeah, so hello everyone, I'm Tejas Singh Arora. I'm in my 4th year and I'm studying in the Department of Biotechnology and Biochemical Engineering.
Okay. Welcome, Tejas.
Thank you.
Okay. So इसमें एक assignment है, just one, 20 marks, and I'll tell you how it's divided. 5, 5, 5, like 4, 5 part में divide किया हुआ है. तो but no, but प्रोजेक्टर का ओके सो और देयर इक्वल मार्क्स है माइनर और मेजर के 30-30 ईच. ओके 3 क्विज लेने की कोशिश करूंगी मैं, बेस्ट 2 आउट ऑफ 3. ओके ये है कोर्स पॉलिसी रफली. तो 20 मार्क्स की क्विज हो गई, 20 का असाइनमेंट, 40 एंड 60, 30-30. ओके दैट्स द कोर्स पॉलिसी. और ग्रुप असाइनमेंट होगा. सो व्हाट आई डू इज़ यूजली, बिकॉज अ लॉट ऑफ यू आर 4th ईयर्स, तो वो प्लेसमेंट्स का वो हो जाता है, तो वील ट्राई टू डू इट बिफोर यू स्टार्ट गोइंग टूवर्ड्स योर प्लेसमेंट डेज. तो माइनर से पहले लेके ट्राई करेंगे कि माइनर से पहले हो जाए, है ना, असाइनमेंट्स. बट मोस्टली स्टूडेंट्स ही होते हैं जो कहते हैं नहीं अभी तैयार नहीं है, अभी नहीं है, क्योंकि आई एम नॉट टेकिंग एनीथिंग आउटसाइड ऑफ द क्लास आवर्स. एवरीथिंग हैज़ टू बी, सो ऑल द प्रेजेंटेशंस वुड बी इन क्लास आवर्स. आई डोंट टेक जो प्रेजेंटेशंस होते हैं वो दोज विल बी इन द टॉपिक्स वुड बी द कोर्स कंटेंट, बट आई वोंट टेस्ट यू ऑन दैट. ओके तो ऐसा नहीं है कि एक ग्रुप ने एक प्रेजेंटेशन दिया एंड I'll have questions from the presentations. No, but all of you have to be present in the presentations. Assign that time, attendance would be marked, and I take it very seriously. और जनरली भी मुझे पता चल जाता है, जैसे मुझे अभी पता है रफली कौन कौन आ रहे हैं, किनके चेहरे, आई एम गुड एट मैपिंग, तो मुझे पता चल जाता है. और असाइनमेंट में जो 5 नंबर होते हैं वो अटेंडेंस के ही होते हैं कि आप आ कितने रहे हो, हाउ इंटरेक्टिव यू आर ड्यूरिंग द असाइनमेंट डेज. असाइनमेंट में आ जाना, बिकॉज दैट वुड बी पार्ट ऑफ द कोर्स कंटेंट. तो बैठ के सुन लो, अगर एग्जाम नहीं में नहीं आएगा बट स्टिल कान से सुन रहे हो, निकाल रहे हो, फिर भी कुछ तो रजिस्टर होगा ही दिमाग में कि ये क्या है. आई डोंट वांट एनी टॉपिक टू गो लाइक ओ ये तो पता ही नहीं है क्या है, कभी सुना ही नहीं, ऐसा ना. ठीक है, तो असाइनमेंट का वो होता है. तो
The
Yes.
quizzes will be announced, or
कोई yeah.
and the minor syllabus will not come in major, or
I don't usually. I mean, unless you want. Unless you want, I'm happy to. मेरे लिए थोड़ा easy हो जाता है, but usually it's fine. उतना ही पढ़ो जितना पढ़ो ठीक से पढ़ो. Okay, so just half. I mean, of course, ये course light है, but if there is something you're interested in, please come and talk to me. I'm in block 6. सबसे वहाँ कोई आता भी नहीं है, चाय भी नहीं मिलती वहाँ पे, तो कोई नहीं आता. No, none of the students. I always कुछ आने लगे हैं now, but इतना दूर है मैम, कौन आएगा? तो I can also come. Okay, if you want to talk any कोई topic है which you're really interested in, or something that you really want to know, हम कर सकते हैं. मैं अभी इसी से पढ़ा रही हूँ. एंड व्हाट आई डू इज यूजली एट द वीक एंड ऑफ द वीक मैं अपलोड कर देती हूँ स्लाइड्स तो बीच में मतलब मुझे बहुत ईमेल्स आने लग जाते हैं जैसे आज ही पढ़ डालोगे सारे, तो वो मत किया करो बिकॉज एक वीक पढ़ा लिया एंड देन आई अपलोड जो भी उस पूरे वीक में पढ़ाया, अनलेस अगेन यू वांट टू रियली रीड एंड स्टडी I can upload it earlier, but usually on Saturdays I sit down and upload on Moodle the slides, so you can make notes meanwhile. जो भी है, there is one book which is the book for this course, which is it's Will Rudiman book. पूरी text book है. Most of the not all but most of the figures and material that I have is from this book, the first book, Earth's Climate, Past, Present, Future. ये third edition है. Library में I think there's the first edition, but not much has changed. Okay, so it will be the same. There is a PDF copy available somewhere on internet. I have the PDF copy. If you want, I can give to one of you and you can pass around. Relative grading होगी, absolute नहीं है. और ऑडिट पास में मैंने 60% अटेंडेंस रखी है, मोर देन 35% मार्क्स. ऑलराइट, एनी क्वेश्चन ऑन द कोर्स पॉलिसी? नो, आउटलाइन में करूँगी नहीं. और ये सो लेट्स जस्ट जंप इन टू द लेक्चर. द फर्स्ट लेक्चर. So the first lecture is overview of climate science. This is again from the same book, chapter 1 and 2. You don't have to go around reading like line by line, but what is a good idea is if I am showing an image or a picture or a figure, just go and read the text around it. That would be important. So but chapter 1 and 2 in this book generally covers what climate is, what is the driver, what changes climate, those kind of things. So to start with understanding climate, it's important to understand why would the climate change in the first place, right? So okay, before we go into climate and weather, are these the same things? No. Somebody said no. Why?
Weather refers to the short-term changes,
Sure.
and climate is the long-term averaged measurement.
Right. So when you say long term, how long do you think? Consider
Almost 5 or 10 years.
some decades.
Yeah.
So, like for example, if we take this system, Faizan, you took the monsoon course. How would you know how would you say that monsoon has changed? What is the average years number of it? He says 5 to 10 years probably. What do you remember anything about number of years we average to get the mean state, like and then it has changed in the मतलब एक साल for instance monsoon, right now we have monsoon season, right? तो एक साल कम बारिश हो गई, we would say climate has changed? No, right? So there has to be an average for like he's saying, composite of few years, decades. How many decades? The Indian Meteorological Department. Any guesses? Yes.
It's I think
Tejas.
30 if I'm not wrong.
30, yes. 30 is the correct answer. So 30 years average we've taken for most of the climate phenomena that 30 year average, अगर 30 years तक वो average कम हो गया या ज़्यादा हो गया, you think that something has changed. Now of course this is not an arbitrary number. This has come from a lot of the circulation, air circulation, ocean circulation, and also the atmospheric processes that come into play. So 30 years is that number that we've got, that if the climate remains in the same state, we would think that there's some climate change that has happened because of various drivers that we discussed. Okay. So yeah, so this we I was just talking about climate and weather, how they're different. Weather would be hours, days, weeks, and months. And okay, how old is the Earth?
4 billion years.
Kitne?
4 billion years.
4 billion years. It's slightly older than that. 4.5. So it's very old, 4.55 billion years. And in this course, those of you who came today, in the course content, you would see that we'll start from tectonic scale climate change, and then go from tectonic to relatively shorter scale, and then relatively shorter, and then relatively shorter to historical changes that we see, and modern changes. So we will be starting from somewhere around when the Earth formed, what was the climate like, and why did it change. All right. So any of you heard of the um, RCPs, representative concentration pathways? No. So RCPs, I think I'll take that up in one of the last lectures where we talk about future climate change. But this basically represents the amount of CO2, which is the major. What are the greenhouse gases in the atmosphere?
CO2, methane, CFCs,
CFC,
ozone,
ozone,
NO2,
N2,
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 H2O.
वाटर वेपर, नाइट्रस ऑक्साइड, है ना, ये सारे ग्रीन हाउस गैसेस है. बट मेजर जो है वो है CO2 because of its not warming potential, but because of the amount that it's present, right? So modelers, climate modelers have looked into what would be the climate like. Like for example, we are here right now, 2024. X-axis is the age axis, 2024, and what you see here on Y-axis is the CO2 concentration. What is the CO2 concentration today? Guess करो, मुझे भी याद नहीं आ रहा exactly. But you can actually have
0.04,
0.03
ppm बताओ.
400.
400 से बहुत ज़्यादा है. 420 से भी ज़्यादा है. Google करते because you can get exact CO2 concentration. It's been measured in Mauna Loa in Hawaii. Day and night, it changes. It's 412, is it? So 422. Yeah, so it's more than 420, I remember. So it's 422 right now, ppm. Okay, what is ppm?
parts per million.
Parts per million. So what you see here is on y-axis is parts per million of CO2 in the air, right? Million molecules of air. So 500, 1000, 1500, 2000, and what you see here are the projected, basically ages or years. We are here, and these are the projections. So these are the projections of how CO2 can change in future. Now there are various pathways, and in the last lecture I'll talk about how these projections are calculated, and why would we think that what is this pathway? So this pathway basically is high emissions. So when I say high emissions, it's not higher than today. It's basically continuing on the path that we are right now. So you see there's no change in slope. It's just going on whatever we are emitting right now. So if that's the case, how old are you? Roughly 18, 19, 20, right? 2024. 20. So 124 you'd be 2124. You'd be. चलो when will you be 60 years? बताओ. 60 years, 60, 65 में जो भी जॉब करोगे रिटायर होगे. क्या एज होगा? 2060. चलो 2060 पे देखें. ये. So it looks like it doesn't change much, but it depends on where you are or what pathway you are following. तो for example अगर हम उसी pathway पे जा रहे हैं ना, ये ना बहुत ही blurred lines हैं, but these are real numbers and it might look like ये दोनों तो same ही हैं. But again, this is a representation. These are not exactly the numbers, and I'll show you the good exact numbers and the calculations later. But for this is just for you to imagine. अगर 2064 या जब भी you would retire, you can be here, which is somewhere less than 500. You could be you could be slightly on the middle road. So pathway of sustainability means that the CO2 emission is being reversed. How can you reverse CO2 emission? How can you decrease the amount of CO2 that is there in the atmosphere? मतलब CO2 तो है अभी कुछ पाथ emit हो रहा है. Why would you think it can decrease, or how can you decrease? How can one decrease?
By using electric car.
हाँ तो उस तरह you would not emit. लेकिन जो चला गया है
Planting more trees.
planting हाँ
Trees plant.
trees planting is one, yes, because they would take up CO2 to make chlorophyll and do photosynthesis, yes. But there are other ways of carbon sequestration also. Have you heard of carbon sequestration, anybody? No. CO2 can be, so oceans for example can take up a huge amount of CO2. They can convert it into, so CO2 when dissolves in water, पानी में, forms a weak bicarbonic acid. And if that bicarbonic or carbonate CO3 2 minus अगर ये कहीं चला गया ion तो ये कैसे चला जाएगा? अगर कैल्शियम आ रहा है ओशन में, it would react, it would form calcium carbonate और ओशन डेप्थ में चला जाएगा. तो CO2 एटमॉस्फेयर का जा रहा है. So and in particular, so now but ocean circulation also has to be taken into account. क्यों? क्योंकि ultimately जाएगा क्यों? मतलब ocean also has to circulate, right? Ocean में भी circulation चल रहा है. And we'll discuss why ocean is circulating, why there are ocean currents. इस ये जो general वाला first 2 chapters, and that's what they discuss. So ocean form a big sequestration, and southern ocean in particular बहुत उसमें potential है for taking down CO2. That is, that is one pathway scientists are exploring. Scientists are looking at potential कि कहाँ ज़्यादा. Now it's not so easy कि भाई calcium डाल दिया और ये हो गया. There are other factors also involved. What forms CaCO3 or calcium carbonate or limestone would exist? Would it be taken by microorganisms and form shells? There are foraminifera shells abundant in the sea, in the oceans. तो कैसे मतलब वो होगा? तो बहुत सारे other factors भी हैं. It's not so easy as it may sound when I'm saying this. Okay, other way of doing it is using that weak carbonic acid that is formed जब rain हो रहा है, right? CO2 to dissolve or weather out rocks. या फिर so basically rock is what? Some chemistry, right? Rock will be either silicate rock or carbonate rock. If we can take that CO2 from the atmosphere by dissolving out rock, ultimately it will go in the ocean through rivers and everything. But that is also, you can use that reaction that I was talking about that can happen in the ocean can happen on land also. So basically the rocks that are there on the earth, they would react with silicate rock, react very slowly. SiO2 is a very strong bond. Those of you who studied chemistry, silicate rocks are not easy to weather. Carbonate rocks are much better. But again, carbonate rocks are not everywhere on Earth, right? So, we'll have to look at the potential and, other ways. There are other rock storage that, scientists are working on. How can we store it in the rocks and not just weather it and put it in the ocean. So, various ways that we can take back CO2. There's a lot of research that is going into it, but we have still not reached a conclusive sort of, method that we can use to go this way. But this also means that you cut the CO2 emissions straight away. Use other sustainable means of energy, solar energy, wind energy, other renewable energies, but not use fossil fuels. Then only you can sort of sustain the temperatures that we are seeing right now. Okay, so slightly difficult and utopic way of living at this point of time. It's very it's just very difficult to change it into reality, but this is a pathway that has been suggested, that if we cut down CO2 straight away and take down whatever CO2 that is in the atmosphere and decreases. Middle road is we cut down slowly, but also go into sequestration, taking back CO2, various methods, planting trees, ocean, rocks, geological reservoirs, everything. Middle road. If we continue on this path, you would be somewhere 2000 ppm. You wouldn't want to imagine the kind of temperatures you would have when you have 2000 ppm of CO2. So it might look like abhi to bahut time hai, but it's clearly not, because by the time you retire, for instance, you would see these kind of changes already, right? Now, the reason why I'm showing this in our class and in the introductory classes, why do we need to study paleoclimate? मतलब हम तो फ्यूचर से मतलब है ना, हम पास्ट में क्यों जाए? क्या मतलब, जो हो गया सो हो गया, आगे चलते हैं ना. Why dwell in the past? This is why I'm showing this figure, and the reason is that Earth has, or when the industrial revolution started, CO2 started to increase. It was not so bad before the industrial revolution, or the pre-industrial time, so much better in terms of natural carbon budget, and I'll talk about radiation budget and the warming of the earth in a bit. But then so we have measurements from the time जब industrial revolution हुआ, we started measuring, अच्छा temperature इतना है, कल इतना है, 50 साल पहले इतना. So in terms of the temperature records, precipitation records, we have 100 years of temperature and precipitation records, right? Human has been curious, measure करते आ रहे हैं, अलग अलग जगह से हमारे पास measurement data है. So those of you, for instance, computer science, who play with data, you know that अगर ज़्यादा data होगा, with better more confidence, you can have your models prediction, right? But in our case, we just have this small window of 150 years of data of temperature and precipitation. So to better project the future variability, we need more data. But Earth has not seen such changes in ppm of CO2 in last 150 years. We've not seen such big changes. So we don't have a baseline data where we can see that, okay, this is the natural variability and this is what is the human caused or anthropogenic variability. Now, it's not like Earth has not seen such variability. Earth has seen in the past. So you see, again, this is, these are the CO2 concentrations reconstructed from this paper, Tierney et al., Jessica Tierney et al. 2020. This is a paper that came out in Science. Do you know about journal Science? Science, Nature? No? So all the scientific, whatever scientific and engineering research that we do, if it's path-breaking and if it's really, if we found something that has a real application, any discipline, humanities, sciences, engineering, if it's really it impacts the entire, it's path breaking, they send it to the journal Science or Nature. Okay, so Science and Nature are two journals where such articles are sent, but it's very difficult to publish, very, very difficult, 0.1% gets published or something, baki reject ho jate hain. So the science has to be really, really good, that is going, and also the implications of whatever work that has been done. So this work came out in Science in 2020, so clearly very well, so it is peer reviewed very very nicely, it's a lot of the scientists around the world see it, review it, look at the methods, so it's nicely reviewed before it comes out in these journals, Science. So Science is published from the US, the American Association of AAAS, getting the name of Science, and Nature is the UK publication. Nature is published from the UK. So this work, where they sort of reconstructed temperatures of the past, and then also sort of calculated from temperatures the CO2 concentrations. They were like, look, we have reached, we knew before this also that 1000 ppm was reached at some point of time, and we also might reach 1000 ppm if we go on emitting the way we are. But if you look at the time scales and the rate of change, what we are looking here is a matter of 100 years, right? 1950 to 2150, या अगर 2024 से भी ले लो, we are looking at a rather short time, right? And here we are looking at millions of years. So Earth has seen such CO2 concentrations, but the rate of change was really, really slow. Right? So we have seen 1000 ppm, we have seen like wherever we are heading, no humans, there was some very different kind of ecology, very different environment, but 1000 million years ago, 50 million years ago, and also the cold, the current sort of temperatures we've seen before also. So these data, if we have more information of what the natural response of Earth was like during these times, we can use them to better predict, better then put in the anthropogenic or human variable in the models and say, okay, naturally Earth has been behaving or responding, its ocean or climate in general, our system science has been responding in this way, and humans have done it whatever. So this is the human impact, and and then the prediction. If we know the baseline data, we can better predict it. This will happen if we go this way. So that is why we need more data. We need paleoclimate records. Otherwise, my research would be redundant. This is what I do for a living. Okay, my PhD students have been working on looking at not so far back in time, but relatively recent times, and looking at abrupt changes in monsoons, abrupt changes in climate, mostly in the Indian context and Indian summer monsoon. So to basically extend the monsoon and rainfall records better for better predictions and forecasting. Okay, so this is why this course. That's how this course sort of came into picture. This figure is not from that book. This is from this paper. Feel free to read the paper. It's called Paleoclimates Inform the Future. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty intelligible as it is. Now, so what are we learning today? Clearly that climate has changed at various time scales, as you saw, and if we look at, so now what I'm trying to show here is the different time scales that we'll look at throughout this semester and in this course. So on y-axis you would have age and the other plots that would appear. On x-axis you would have temperature changes of warming. So the last 1000 years we call as the historical climate change. Okay, so मतलब कोई तो kingdom रह रहा होगा, we call it historical climate change. This one, and you can see that it's not like the climate hasn't changed. Climate has been changing in the historical period also. And then you have much further back in time. So this 1000 years now map into this. So on the longer scale of things, these changes that you see are actually just here. Okay, deglacial and millennial, thousands of years. So 50,000. There are 50 such cycles that has happened, and if you look at the running average, that's how it looks. Okay, we'll talk about each of these scales of climate change and what changes climate change at various scales. What are the drivers? So about 3 degrees of change. It has kind of changed about 3 degrees in the last 50,000 years. Then we can go up to orbital climate change, 10 degrees of change. Again, this is global average temperature. There are places where the changes were much higher. There are places where the changes were much higher in a positive direction, so more warming and more cooling. But these are average temperatures, okay, global average. So Earth's temperature as an average. So 10 degrees orbital changes. Orbital. What is orbital change? We talked about last time. Orbit, Earth's orbit के change होने से जो changes होते हैं in Earth's climate. So Earth's orbit, which is elliptical, also changes. There is a periodicity in which Earth's orbit changes, and the way it changes the amount of solar radiation that is coming on the Earth. So there are cycles called Milankovitch cycles, which I'll talk about. That what is the cyclicity, 40,000 years or what, 100,000 years, 40,000 years, and which dominates when. You can do a lot of frequency analysis. I don't know if you've done any spectral analysis. Frequency कोई करता है यहाँ पे? No. Yeah, so a lot of analysis can be done. मतलब अगर बहुत सारे अगर drivers and there's a lot of overlapping signals, how would you find out the frequency? So that's when you do frequency analysis, and you'll basically take out the noise. So various things can be done, but this is a vital change, and you can see there's some sort of cyclicity that is there. But mind you, the time scale here is millions of years. 3 billion years here, and at some point of time the cyclicity or the amplitude then increased, which we call as now the glacial interglacial cycle. These are 100,000 years. So if you've heard of and seen movies, ice ages, जब mammoths होते थे and all that. So this was then कि बहुत cold हो गया ice age, then warming पे आ गया, फिर cold हो गया. So this cyclicity then changes now. There's a reason why these 40 kilo year cycle change into 100,000 years. We'll talk about it later. So these are orbital scale changes, and now if you see the millennial scale cycle, it's somewhere here. So this part is basically this, and it goes down to whatever is happening now, right? A very small, the larger scale of things is very small. Then we have the tectonic scale, 4.55 billion years old Earth. There have been movements in the plates. Do you know about the tectonic plates? Vaguely. I mean, I'm not a geologist myself, but you know that Earth's plate, continental and oceanic plates move. Why do they move?
Because they are floating on lava.
Lava?
मतलब जो भी नीचे molten core.
Mantle.
Yeah.
Lava is what comes out of a
Yeah.
volcano, right? Yeah. So there's radioactivity in the molten materials, and this is why they are moving. Ocean crust and continental crust are chemically very different. One is more acidic, one is more basic in terms of chemistry. Basalt and granite, different in terms of what metals are there in the aluminum silicate that these silicate materials are made up of. And because of that, their densities are very different. So for example, if an ocean and a continental crust would collide, one would definitely go down. Or if two continental plates collide, they would, same density, none would go down, they would form a mountain, right? So how were the Himalayas formed?
The Indo-Australian plate collided with the Asian plate.
Indo-Eurasian plate collided with the Australian, plate. So these were Indo-Australian or Asian plate, whatever. So so these collided and Himalayas were formed, right? So at some point, and after that, the monsoon started, because monsoon needed that barrier for the moisture-laden winds to break them, and so monsoon strengthened actually after that. So really longer scale of things, and climate has changed on tectonic time scales. Also, like you can see from cold periods to warm period to cold period. Okay, this is my last slide for today. What we'll look at is the Earth's climate system and interaction of its component. See, when you give a presentation, all of you, anywhere, whatever field you go to, banking, corporate, UPSC, wherever, always have, UPSC वाले भी हैं बच्चे यहाँ पर, ठीक है, मेरे में आते ही हैं. This course, somehow students who are preparing for civil services, they come. So always have a reference for whatever you are saying. हवा में नहीं बात करनी. I don't have a reference in most of my slides because जहाँ पे नहीं है वो रुडिमेंट से आया है. So take it by default. ठीक है, ये सब picture literally मैंने PDF से लगाई हैं. But I've referenced it in the first slide. So, but when you all give presentations, अगर कोई picture Wikipedia से भी उठा रहे हो ना तो Wikipedia का दे दो. But Wikipedia कोई reference है नहीं. Wikipedia में references हैं, right? देखोगे number रहता है and you look at where this has been lifted. So if you're saying anything, it has to be backed by where you're quoting it from, any field. That is, that is an ethics of communication. That are ethics of publishing. That are ethics of um, research, and anything you do basically. So so it doesn't have a nothing but from Rudy one. Okay, let's quickly look at the components. Very easy. Let's look at the x-axis here. This is the equator, and we are going on to the North Pole, or wherever, north or south, doesn't matter because we have, let's just assume North Pole. So ice sheet, as we are going towards north, oceans, sea level is changing. This is what is happening on the spreading zones or the mid-oceanic ridges. If you know, Iceland has this, or if you know of the volcanoes, जो fire क्या बोलते हैं उसको, belt of fire जो है, there are a lot of volcanoes in the Pacific, and it goes from Japan. Japan keeps having volcanic eruptions, and also so do Iceland, because they have something what is called as the sea floor spreading, where the ocean magma is basically coming out as lava, and and it cools down and forms more ocean crust, and because it's spreading, it must be going somewhere and colliding with the continental plate. This is a continental plate, and difference intensity, this would subduct, and at some point there's some radioactivity there is various gases being released, CO2, SO2, and there's also CO2 being released here. Remember, the source of energy, the only source of energy that we have on Earth is the solar radiation. Changes in the solar radiation impacts, or how much, I'll change the timing of it to sleep, but for now, how much of the radiation that is reaching the Earth's surface governs everything. So we will talk about the radiation balance in the next class. But you can see what are the components. Ice sheet plays a huge role. How much of ice sheet is present on the continents and how much of it is melted. Sea level has risen. If the more sea level, more area is exposed, if more evaporation changes the water cycle, gases gets absorbed. So very complex system. We'll talk about upwelling. We'll talk about how carbon can be buried. This is what I was talking about. CO2 being taken up and buried in the ocean bottom. Carbon production, so more of planktons and marine life, living here, winds. This is again nothing to ask about from this figure, but to see weathering is a process that I just talked about. Precipitation and weathering can take up whatever CO2 that is there in the atmosphere, the greenhouse gases, and whatever is emitted. Remember that this is very, very it's minuscule as compared to what we are emitting. So somebody said if more volcanoes are started to emit, we'll have more CO2. It would not make a difference. Because these have been naturally occurring anyway, so it did not change the radiation balance much. Where there are various processes happening, tropics, poles, and so these are the components. So when we look at various time scales of climate change, something or the other would be happening with these components. More weathering, more CO2 is being taken up, more CO2 being released. Changes in insulation, or so on and so forth. So this is a broad base idea of that. Okay, any questions so far? Any questions? ठीक है, 3 सो रहे थे आज. देख लिया है मैंने सबको जो सो रहे थे. Number कटे? No. Yeah, please feel free to ask any question. I just joke around for you to keep awake. वरना सब सोते रहते हैं और जब नहीं हंस रहे होते ना तो मतलब सो रहे हैं, डेफिनेटली सो रहे हैं. तो इस कोर्स में कोई दुखी नहीं रहेगा. Any question, any problem, just please come to me and talk to me. Okay? So next week, I'm not around. I have some experiments planned up. I'm not in Delhi. So I'll see if I can take the class online. Most likely, अगर होगा तो मैं Teams पे ही ले लेती हूँ. ठीक है ना? Everybody is on Teams. वो तो बन जाता है तो Teams पे ही. I'll let you know. और अगर नहीं ले पाई तो those 3 classes will be compensated. Or generally I don't teach in the first week, but I've started already, so we won't lag far behind. But if any student has any concern कि पीछे हो जाएगा, course complete नहीं हो पाएगा, please get in touch. Okay? कोई बोला है नहीं, वो तो कभी नहीं होगा. पीछे से ऐसे हुआ है. ठीक है, कोई वो नहीं है. अगर course इसमें देखो, course जो है ना in this subject is something कि कितना भी पढ़ा सकते हैं और अगर basic जो fundamental है अगर वो clear हो जाए. This is a new field of study in India. Not many people are doing it. Paleoclimate, and I'm probably, in fact, when I did my PhD, in Cambridge in 2013. कितनी बूढ़ी हूँ समझ सकते हो. But back then, इंडिया में करता ही नहीं था कोई ये काम. So I had problems in finding a job. Like why would people worry about paleoclimate where people are not even worried about future climate, right? So now a lot of the institutes have started, and we can study climate, but the solutions has to come from engineers like you. कि भाई climate change हो रहा है तो solution क्या है? Solution तो technical आना चाहिए ना. तो which is why you need to know कि भाई आगे चल के कहीं भी किसी भी job में चले जाओ and you come across these words किसी भी job में चले जाओ. You come across climate, technology, मिलान कोई साइड. ऐसा ना हो कि ये क्या होता है. थोड़ा सा याद आएगा, हाँ कहीं तो देखा है, कहीं तो पढ़ा है. So in the next 50 years तो बहुत आगे की बात है. 10-20 years also all the governments, irrespective of which country you are in, are now more and more concerned about climate, and you will probably work on the solutions. तो इसीलिए ये course important है, and you would have some understanding of the climate system in general. Okay, I'll let you go.